There's a delay. Hello, my name is Tyee, Tyee, Tyee Matthews. I'm the writer, producer, and actor of Ted Finds Love, and I'm also the writer, director, cinematographer, stunt coordinator. I'd say probably 95% of what High School Hell was made of. That was what I had done. Are there any questions? There's a delay, so I'm sorry if there's any sort of a time lapse or a stall. I drive a shitty car says, do you prefer acting or directing more? I actually do prefer directing more. It really is a lot more fun because whether I'm writing a script or when I'm handed the script, which happened to me recently, I was handed somebody's script, but I'm no longer involved with that project. I have a lot of shots that just formulate semi instantly. It really is a lot of fun compared to acting. Acting, there's that pressure of memorizing lines. There's the pressure of being there on time and being on and having your schedule cleared up, which sometimes doesn't really happen. Scheduling was actually a bit of a major issue on Road Trip, which was a feature film that I had co-produced and acted in. That we had some schedule issues with an actor, and I had to come in on days I wasn't even supposed to be scheduled there. And excuse me. And I was taking over his lines because he was stuck at work or had some type of an emergency. Okay, movie horror asked me, Rob, tell us about Ted Finds Love. When was that filmed and written? Well, with Ted Finds Love, that was actually the story, and the first draft of the script was written by my partner at the time with Struggle Films LLC, Richard Weiland. He came up with the story and concept, I think probably a year, maybe two ago, and he thought about this sort of love triangle with a zombie, uh, a woman, and a man. And I know that a lot of people are thinking or thought about the hell is it, Warm Bodies, but that definitely was not the case as you people had seen tonight. It definitely was no Warm Bodies. It wasn't really a serious film. It was sort of a satire, a little bit of a joke with the zombie genre. And I hope that you all really loved and enjoyed it because it really wasn't a stab or anything like that. It was really kind of a love letter, in a sense, to the zombie genre. It was also filmed at a park, Fort Lowell Park in Tucson, Arizona, which is where I reside, Tucson, Arizona, and most of the actors and crew reside that I work with. It was shot just in one day, shot afternoon and night. It was, I think it was 10 hours, maybe 9 hours. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it might have been 11 hours. It really was quite an experience to, yeah, make that thing a little bit bigger. It really was quite an experience to have, just especially to shoot an entire short within one day. It was, I think, 6 pages because I had written the second and third draft myself. because Richard had written some things in the original draft that I didn't think were really gonna fly. But I still loved the script. I loved Ted. I loved all the characters. Obviously, I wanted to play Ted, and you saw me as Ted. So that really was a thrill and a kick to really be that zombie. Um, and I really just took what he wrote and elevated it to another level. Took some things away, added some others, and it was shot within just one day. Like I said, day to evening. Okay, X Man 2K, or is it Sandman 2K? Okay, what made you want to get into filmmaking? Um, well, with filmmaking, I really just loved films in a sense. Ever since I was a little kid, I really can't explain it. I remember watching Jaws at a very young age on TBS, obviously with commercials interrupting it, which sucked, but still, at 5, 6 years old, that was a thrill to watch. I think, if I recall right, the very first R-rated movie, no, not R-rated movie, very first horror movie that I'd seen that really scared the living shit out of me was Hellraiser. Another R-rated movie that kind of scared me, which surprisingly was an action flick, was Lethal Weapon 2. Just some of the action scenes just kind of freaked me out when I was a little kid. I don't know how else to say it, but I really loved filmmaking. Probably as far as influential filmmakers or directors, it's Steven Spielberg, Quentin Tarantino, oh my God, Sam Raimi, John Carpenter, Wes Craven. I oh my God, I really it kind of fluctuates too. It changes. It has people added on. So like I said, it really is fun or funny rather. Rob says, "I love that you can negotiate with zombies without them losing their intellectual zombie traits." Yeah, that was the fun thing about Ted is that he is a zombie. He was bitten by a zombie and turned into a zombie, but he does not have the hunger or desire to consume humans, have flesh, chew on their brains, that sort of thing. He would rather get some roadkill on the side of the road, like you have all seen, and grab that and chew on that like a squirrel, a skunk, a dog, a cat. It really doesn't matter. He'll just eat just about anything that's basically an animal and is not human. Sorry, PETA, but anyways, um, let me see. Mr. Skeeter Buster asks us about a difficult situation while filming or a difficult talent to have dealt with. By talent, Skeeter, do you mean actor, crew member, both, all the above, um, that sort of thing? Hold on 1 second. I don't want to be rude. Let me check Twitter and see if there's any questions that has been asked. Nope, nothing. Nothing at all. Anyways, if you have any questions, go ahead and follow me on Twitter, www.twitter.com/520filmmaker, FILMMAKER. Nope, nothing. But what more? Let's make a sound of me. Okay. Thank you, Skeeter, for clarifying. A difficult situation, obviously, with a lot of films and projects. The scheduling is really, really a pain in the ass, especially when it came to both High School Hell and Ted Finds Love. They were both really different in their own ways. With Ted Finds Love, it was difficult because obviously it was all shot within one day, and it was really a bit of a pain in the ass between myself and the director, the Low Priest, because I had to get his schedule. I had to get other people's schedules and work around it because I was working a day job. Other people were working day jobs, maybe two. Excuse me. And it really was a bit of a pain in the ass because we had to get everybody's schedule, like Sarah Jackson, David Buttery, Macaulay Harlan, Chris Carter, Winter Kane, just really sort of locked into place so that way we can shoot within just one day. And that was a pain in the ass. And with High School Hell, it was shot within basically 4 weeks, 2 weeks, I'd say 3 or 4 days for each week in July to shoot certain segments of High School Hell. And then later on, probably mid or late August, we had to go back and shoot the other half of High School Hell because just about everybody's schedule was semi-meshing. But in the middle of the damn shoot, people had to go to California, Boston, this state, that town. They were working on another project at the time, so it was like, fuck. So I really had to just work around that and just bite a bullet and just reschedule things and try to work things out for my locations, my crew, my actors. Which for High School Hell, I basically was. The crew was myself and Pierre Goritz who was also the composer. So and also Heather DePietro and some other PAs and some people that lived over at the house that we had used for my Jurassic Park shot, which I still thank them for that, and they're still finding blood in their house. Love you, and thank you very much for shooting. I'm very sorry for the fake blood still being there. I guess that's my own little keepsake or my own little gift to you all. But anyways, it really was scheduling was really a pain in the ass. Actually, hot damn. Well, thank you, Rob. There's a Twitter question. Kevin Walsh, KevDog79 on Twitter. What is next on the horizon for you? By the way, everyone, we're totally experimenting with this Twitter. That's from Rob. We're experimenting with this Twitter, so please tweet me and make sure to hashtag IHTV chats and hashtag directors chats. And make sure that questions are directed to myself at 520 Filmmaker and also IndieHorror.tv. Anyways, what is next on the horizon for you? What's next on the horizon for me is I'm actually working on my fourth short. This time I'm going to be going back into the director's chair. I've been producing and writing for a little bit, doing a little bit of acting here and there. Now I'm going to be going back and directing. So, excuse me, let me have a drink. I'm going back into the chair of directing, and that is something I really love and enjoy doing is directing. Like I said, it's actually going to be a haunted house possession short. There's not really much I can really say about this project at the moment, but I will announce this. It is going to be an exclusive for Indie Horror TV. I myself, Tyee Matthews, am making an exclusive original short film for Indie Horror TV only to play. That is what's next on my plate as far as my next project. Like I said, we are in script block. I have a lead actress already talked to, and she's in, so that's very good. I'm going to be casting for my other three actors or characters very, very soon, and hoping to shoot between March and June. So it might be playing here on the network sometime in the fall. And as far as what's next on the horizon, I have another short film that's going to be coming out as well called Taped, which was also directed by the Low Priest, who directed Ted Finds Love. it was a short film that I have written and handed to him, and he handed that same script to a friend of his, and he wrote a brand new draft, which I liked. And we went with basically the combination of my script and his script, and went from there and shot it once again within a day. I just remembered. So that's two films I had shot within a day. Um, Ted Finds Love was shot in August of 2013, and um, Taped was shot in June of 2012. Let me go ahead and scroll up to see if there's any questions I had skipped or missed. So please hold on one second. All right. I drive a shitty car. Is that an Adam Sandler reference, or do you really drive a shitty car? Because I've actually had a couple shitty cars in my life. Honda and Nissan. I don't want to explain any further other than that. Ugh. How do you prefer to cast for your films? Do you use friends or advertise for new talent, or something else? Um, when it comes to drafting some scripts, I actually run it by and let a couple of my friends, certain friends, read my scripts, just so that way I can get another perspective or to devise for corrections, that sort of thing, or even input as far as additional scene, changing of a scene, something. And this goes for friends both inside and outside of the industry. It's always good to have input no matter what, because you also have to think about your crowd as well that are also going to be sitting down in front of their computer or in a theater watching your film. Um, but I do use some friends in certain situations, but the friends I use in my films are within the industry. I have talked to a couple of my friends, and they would like to act, but they're like, "No, I don't want to be hamming up or cheesing the film." So I do want to work with them, but it would have to be like some sort of comedy or something like that. So who knows as to what the situation would be, but who knows as to whether or not I actually will 100% work with my friends. But I always am open to that option. I would love to do that. But as far as working with my friends within the industry, and the Tucson film community, I do that. I work with those type of friends, and I do love both working and admire both my friends in and outside the industry. But I do advertise for new talent on some hidden or not hidden, some websites like Craigslist, um, Arizona Actors Forum on Facebook, and a few other things, websites that I cannot remember off the top of my head at the moment. Um, in the world. Um, but as far as advertising new talent, I do look for new talent no matter what. I am always open and love to work with new people. If we really had a good connection as far as cast or crew, and we didn't have any problems or issues, or even if we did butt heads just a little bit, that's obviously part of being getting a project done and professionalism and that sort of thing in a tiny sense. But you have to do things to get the project done and in the can and out of the way to move and work on the next project. Um, I do like working with new people, and I do like working with people that I've worked with before. So it really depends. I mean, I guess you do could say I'm like Tarantino in a tiny sense, where there are some actors that I use over and over for certain things. But with this fourth short that I'm going to be working on, you will be seeing some familiar faces from my feature film Road Trip, and also maybe some other short films I have done. Um, the actors on Ted Finds Love were also in Road Trip, and Road Trip and Ted Finds Love were shot 7 or 8 days apart from each other. Literally, we shot Ted Finds Love within one day. 7 or 8 days later, we started shooting Road Trip. So it was we started shooting two films within a month with some of the same with basically the same cast and crew members, which was ironic and fun and really fucking cool. Um, Especially because we already knew each other and worked with each other prior, literally just the project before. So we just brought everything from that table onto this table. Um, Okay, let me see as to what other questions there are. Yes, we need to get some Twitter questions. I want to see if we can get this Twitter thing going. Rob, are there any questions that you have gotten? Because I haven't gotten anything as far as my feed. So if you have anything as far as your feed, please do let me know, retweet, or even post on here. Nothing here. Up, down. Nope. Let me see. Any questions? Okay, if you had, oh, excuse me, sorry. From Sandman 2K. Oh shit! It just fucking moved up on me. I hate when that happens. Where'd it go? Okay, there we are. From Sandman 2K. If you had a mega movie budget, what kind of film would you make? Oh my god, a mega movie budget? That's kind of hard. I don't know as to whether I would make a horror or a action film because that is a genre that I would really, really love to do. What's going on with my mic? I hope it's not dying on me. Um, but yes, that is something I would like to do if I had a mega movie budget. Like if I had a studio backing me, I would really love to do a high budget or major budget action film or horror film or even a drama. Another genre or type of film that I would really like to do is family comedy, or not family comedy. I'm very sorry, family film, sort of something like um, Milo and Otis, Homeward Bound, and Benji. Those are some films I watched and grew up as a kid and are a little bit of an influence on me. As far as another influence, anime is a really, really big influence on me. I really loved watching Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, Foolie Cooley. Um, God, there are just some other animes I just can't even remember, but they'll probably uh, jump into my brain, so who knows? Um, uh, uh, but yeah, if I had to make a budget, it'd be an action or horror or drama. I just wonder as to who would back me. Um, from Rob, indie horror. With filming 2 films in one day, do you generally work quickly as a filmmaker? That really depends upon the project. I mean, with High School Hell, I wanted it to be a little bit fast paced, but that was my very, very first short film that I had done. So things I wanted to shoot, I couldn't because extra didn't show up. We didn't have it in the budget, or there was just absolutely no time to shoot it. So we had to just cut it out of the script and move on to shooting other scenes. Um, it really, it really is. What in the world? It really is. Where the hell did that thing even go? Oh no, where did it go? I cannot even find that damn thing. These questions keep popping up. Well, not keep popping up. Oh no. Can't believe I lost it. Um. Oh, there it is. Sorry about that. The 2 films that were worked on with one day as well on Taped and Ted Finds Love. They were very different projects. With Taped, that was kind of a dark grindhouse exploitation type of film, and with Ted Finds Love, that was a rom-com in a sense. So since it was a zombie love triangle, which was a fun story to tell and write. But filming High School Hell, it was supposed to be shot within, oh, what was the original schedule? That was supposed to be shot in, I think it was maybe 15 15, maybe 10 days, and with everybody's schedules and going in and out of town in between the shoot, it was a grand total of maybe, I think maybe around the time that we were supposed to shoot, 10 days, but they were just so scattered between the damn weeks and between the days of shooting that some of the continuity I'm sure you may have seen was a little bit off or funky. And my script supervisor, she would be on set one day for one scene, and then the next day we would, or rather 2-3 weeks later, we would be able to go back to the house and shoot the other half of that scene, which is why you see Richard's hand with the hammer go from one hand to the other, because one day my script supervisor was there, and then the next week on another day of shooting, she wasn't there, so we tried to remember as to which it was, and I didn't have the SD card because I was shooting on another SD card. So that was a bit of a trial and error, and that was a learning experience with that. So quick, no, I don't really like to work that quick. I really like to take my time within pre-production and production. I like to make sure that things are right and basically somewhat tuned or somewhat fine in a way that things won't go awry. And when things do go awry, well, try not to freak out as much. Oh, I drive a shitty car, applied. I do drive a shitty car. It's a PT Cruiser. When I hit a bump, it sounds like the damn thing is going to fall apart. Kind of sounds like my Nissan after I got into an accident. My friend sounded like it was going to completely fall apart, and I was going to run over the front bumper. So I kind of get what you mean, but that was post-accident. Pre-accident, it was running pretty damn fine. Let me see. Questions. Considering the topic of the week in the indie horror scene, you have used craft services on your shoots, and if so, how important are they to your work? Well, as far as craft services for my films, that's basically a form of payment, because with the films I've done on my own, I didn't really have the money to pay people. So the best I could really do was have catering after a shoot or in between a shoot, have food brought over, or us go to a place like I don't want to say a fast food restaurant or anything, but a restaurant, and go out and eat as far as like a break, and then go back to the shoot and continue on with the shoot until we had gotten the shots for that day. And it was really it's really just a way it's one of the ways for me to pay people, because I don't have enough money. I don't make enough money to pay people, and I had an Indiegogo for Ted Finds Love, just asking for $800, and that was a bomb, sadly. So I would like to do an Indiegogo or a Kickstarter, or even the new thing now, Fund Anything, and really give it a shot again. Excuse me. But it's really going to take another project with probably certain people involved. So who knows? It really is timing with that. As far as continuing with how I pay people, as far as with craft services, it's IMDb credit, copy of the film upon completion, and it really depends upon what that project is and what it really would consist of. So it really varies and depends, but craft service is really a main thing for me to get people to work for me. Now I won't have a mutiny or people leave my set in the middle of a shoot, which I really am honestly afraid of that to happen. That's one of my worst fears as a filmmaker. So I really am going to be sad if that happens, or I might freak out or walk out myself. I don't know until that happens, like I said. Man, don't forget to scroll down. Hold on a second. My phone went off a little earlier. Okay. No questions. So nothing regarding Twitter other than the retweet. Can you speak from Mr. Skeeter Buster? Can you speak on the issues that existed with Elska McCain, and if it's been squashed? We have worked with her as well, so just asking. And it continues, you knew you wouldn't get off too lightly, lol. Well, that's true, but which issue? Because if I'm not mistaken, I've been told of some issues that she's had with me that I've never really known that I've had. So as far as I believe that you're going for the or regarding the Jessica Rabbit 2 and Elska McCain Saw Massacre project for indie horror TV, I'm sure that's what you're implying. As far as with the Elska McCain Saw Massacre project, I was involved as a uh, lead writer, segment director, and main producer of the project because we were going to be putting the entire project under my LLC for protection and that sort of thing, so we can put it here on the network. And I honestly am not exactly 100% sure as to what had happened, but it it really was kind of fast when it happened because I didn't really expect it. It was kind of like having the rug pulled out from you, and then underneath that rug, there was no concrete, there was no grass. It was, well, spikes in a sense. I felt, to be honest, a little bit betrayed and hurt by this because it was really just under an impeccable timing for me personally. Um, as far as that, I I had scheduled a date for a casting for Ted Finds Love, Elska McCain Saw Massacre under the same day, and there was something going on with her that she couldn't be there. I told her, okay, that's fine. You don't have to be there. I'll just take over and worry about both projects if people come up and talk to you later on, and set up a time so we can meet and talk about this project. And I didn't really hear back from her for a little bit until probably the day of the casting call for both projects that she I don't know if I should say this. I'm not going to. But there was an issue that was going on with her, and I didn't know that there was that incident going on during the date, and there was no way I could really stop the date because there was actually quite a bit of a turnout coming up for that. For Elska McCain Saw Massacre and Ted Finds Love, because we had put out a casting call in Tucson, out into Phoenix and in Tucson for these projects, and it really was just we were trying to just set something up within a day, and if nobody really turned out, we would set up another day and that sort of thing, which is what you do on casting calls if they're not really successful or if there's not really much of a turnout. But I had those two projects scheduled. There was an incident with her. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that may have ticked her off. I'm not 100% sure, but I was also involved with Jessica Rabbit 2 at the time as an associate producer, and after this had happened, probably 3 or 4 weeks later, my grandfather had passed away. Around that time when he had passed away, that was when I had noticed on Facebook that Elska McCain Saw Massacre project is fucking canceled from indie horror TV and this sort of shit. Elska McCain doesn't want to get into details, yada yada yada, so on and so forth. And I myself am no longer involved or attached as associate producer of Jessica Rabbit 2. And as far as me no longer being involved with Jessica Rabbit 2, I myself was told that the project was being moved from Tucson, Arizona to Los Angeles, California. And that was really the only reason I was given as to why I was taken off. So there was really no way when this film supposedly had backers and this sort of thing from a studio and some other shit, that there was no way for them to have a budget for them to bring me and you, a couple of other people from Tucson, Arizona, as far as your security, crew, that sort of shit. Maybe even a couple of extras cast. You can't fucking bring them from Tucson, Arizona, to Los Angeles, California, with a budget bigger than the first Jessica Rabbit. I mean, I really didn't quite get that, and the timing really, like I said, swept me under the rug, or not swept me under the rug, but pulled the rug out from under me onto the fucking spikes because my grandfather had passed away, and this project with Elska McCain, two projects rather, were announced where I was taken off. One dissolved completely, and the other one I was basically 86 out of the project. So with that, I haven't really discussed with Elska McCain with what the real deal is. As far as I know, Elska McCain is not going to be doing Jessica Rabbit 2. It's not going to be happening because there was some type of an issue between her and the director, producer, whoever. But I don't hold a grudge against her. It was business. It wasn't really personal. However, the fact is that it was shitty fucking timing on her part when I was going through a personal grievance, and it was really a personal matter that really affected me. After I had casted Ted Finds Love and this thing with Jessica Rabbit too, and the network and Elska and blah blah blah, fucking, I was actually on the verge, a bit of a teetering point of quitting the film industry, um, because the last conversation I had with my grandfather before he passed was really ringing in my head and replaying in my head over and over, and I couldn't really not have that play over and over in my mind. So it really was a bit of a problem for me. I was about to, I was basically going to leave the film industry, even though I had a little web series credit, a short film, blah blah blah. I was really just like, you know what, I don't know if I can fucking do this shit anymore. I don't really have motivation. I don't really have a lot of influence. I don't really have much because this dark cloud over my head was just fucking with me, really, really fucking with me, and I didn't like it at all. It was really a pain, and the person I was talking to off and on within the film industry and within the Tucson film community, he helped me out, and he pulled me out of my little darkness that I had because I really was going to quit. And I told him that anything that I do is it's not going to be for me. It's going to be a selfless act. It's going to be for my grandfather. I'm not really thinking about myself as much as I'm thinking about him, as to what he would do and that sort of thing. Because my grandfather was on the set of My Story web series. He he was literally in the background in the kitchen just watching myself, the low priest, the actors, that sort of thing, just setting up the scene, shooting. And he he loved the fact that I was doing that, and he got it because he thought that actors just did the lines right then and there on the spot and that sort of thing. No, it actually takes time, and actually is a certain formula and system. I really I do miss my grandfather, which is why High School Hell was partially dedicated to him. And when this person did talk me out of my darkness, and I did resume with Ted Finds Love, I basically got back on that high horse and said that I I'm dedicating my performance as Ted the Zombie to my grandfather, and that's it's not going to be this entire film; it's just going to be my performance as this zombie. It may sound a little silly, but that's just what I had to do to really get back into filmmaking and move on with this project that I already had cast and was delaying for months because of this personal grievance and issue that I had. And it was just really, really, really impeccable timing that just fucking happened. So, yeah, I'd like to move on. Let me see here. Yeah, you didn't think I'd go into that deep of detail as far as that, did you? Okay. I drive a shitty car ass. Are there any independent movies that you've seen lately that you would recommend? I haven't really watched a whole lot of independent movies other than what I would see on this network every now and then. Because I'm actually in my own little world of filmmaking. Because I'm working on my own stories. I have feature film scripts I'm actually in the middle of drafting, so I'm working on that. And I have short films that I'm working out stories for, and I have this short film that I'm going to be shooting hopefully within a few months. So it really is a bit of a stretch as far as independent movies. The independent movie I would recommend seeing that I have seen recently, I might get some shit for it, but it's the remake of Maniac. I actually think that just a little half notch is just a little step higher than the original because of the point of view, because it's just really with the cinematography. There's just so many mind fuck shots. It's just really just insane as far as to how they pulled it off within the cinematography and the editing. So it really is a good movie. I really enjoyed it. I also love the original Maniac myself. I really am a fan of slashers and zombie genre films. I'm somewhat partial to the vampire genre and werewolf genre, but I don't like them sparkling. I don't like them to be big, gay, furry, whatever the fuck they are. um, but anyways, you see here. Um, as far as remakes, I don't see too much of an issue as long as it's done right and correct and somewhat original. Um, but yeah, it's the remake of Maniac that I would recommend. Also, I was at the world premiere of Truth or Dare that happened here in Tucson at the 2013 Arizona Underground Film Festival, and I was actually with Devani, Jessica, Jonathan, and Ryan Kaiser at the after party just next door to the screening room, and that was a little bit of a blast because it was basically Arizona and California filmmakers talking, chatting, and drinking, which was pretty damn fun. Um, yeah. Anyways, let me see. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I actually, Skeeter, I actually had high hopes for the Elska McCain Massacre project as well myself. I was really involved in Gun Ho. I had actually written 4 or 5 skits for the Elska McCain Massacre, basically written and ready to fucking shoot. It was just a matter of casting and getting a date to shoot. And some of them were skits that myself and Elska and her boyfriend were talking about, just really putting the three of our heads together. And I guess we were going to have some other writer involved later on down the line. I don't fucking know. But yeah, it was really this. It was really just like a fun experience at the beginning, and then all of a sudden it was like, I don't know, the train just said "fuck you," just tipped over and just went off the rails and that sort of shit. Yeah, I was really I had high hopes for it. I was really in love with the fact that it was like Elvira, Tales from the Crypt. We had even talked about like little elements of Metalocalypse and some other shows to really just sort of basically put into a blender and push chop as opposed to blend. Um, that was really my description, kind of like in Living Color in a sense as well. And Saturday Night Live before the political bullshit. And yeah, it was really supposed to be a fun web series in a sense on the network, but it just didn't really pan out. Uh, I don't want to say this out loud, but yeah, Rob, it was unfair. My fault. I my fault. Um. Okay, Mr. Skeeterbuster, I was going to say, but yeah. Yeah, I've actually heard from another filmmaker that I honestly don't even recall this, but maybe I blocked it because it was bullshit. Who knows? But her and I were supposed to have a meeting sometime, and she had blown me off to go to the swap meet. And this was told to me from a filmmaker that has had a chat on here. So it was really uh, nuts. I mean, I'm having these fingers pointed at me, and I'm basically just minding my business, working my day job, writing my scripts, working on skits, and working out this sort of shit so I can make a hit. So really, it was just I don't know, just nuts. Yeah, yeah. Fuck turds. I think that was the censored word that was supposed to go there. Um, I drive a shitty car. I saw. You see, yeah, there aren't really too many ladies and gentlemen anywhere. Let me see other questions. Let me scroll down. Do I have any advice for aspiring filmmakers? Yeah, buy a camera, do your research on a camera that you want to get that camera. But while you're doing that research with the camera, look for a mic so that way it's compatible with the camera because microphones with the camera are such fucking shit. So you really cannot rely on them. So make sure that you get yourself a decent or good mic. It doesn't have to be $1,000. Get yourself a $500 mic. When I shot with when I shot with High School Hell, it was a Canon Vixia HF200. Obviously, the quality was a little bit different because I was like a popular 2009, 2008 camera. Ted Finds Love, we combined a 7D or a 5D, I can't remember as to what it was, and also my Canon Vixia. But recently, I got a Canon T3i, and I'm going to be shooting my fourth project, this thing that I'm going to be working on for Indie Horror TV, with my T3i and with my friends, fucking neighbors, and with my friends 5D, Chris Carter, who was who was involved with Ted Finds Love and goddamn roommates, and with Road Trip. We have two more Twitter questions. How come they're not showing up for me? I don't know what's going on here. Are they tweeting at you or? Because that's the thing. If they're tweeting at you, I don't know what's going on. Why? What in the world? Because if anything, they should at you and me, if anything. So I'm not exactly sure. Damn it! Can you retweet it, please, Rob? Can't find it. Could you post? Perhaps. Nothing. I don't know as to why it's not popping up for me. I'm very sorry. Tyee. Well, I'm glad to be a very good friend of the channel. I hope to I don't know. I guess with this project, I guess I'm kind of involved with the channel now in tiny sense. Let me see. Stamper GM says, "What do you think of The Walking Dead since you like zombies?" The Walking Dead. I've read a little bit of the comic, and I've only seen 2 or 3 episodes of the first season, so I really am I'm sorry, very fucking lost as to what's going on with Walking Dead, and I'm very out of tune with it. Like I said, also because I'm within my own world, making my own projects. So there are just some things I choose, or I just don't fucking watch because, one, I don't have cable right now, and two, I don't want to watch something and make something, and then all of a sudden it appears as if I had plagiarized or taken something from that show, that movie, whatever the case would be. Holy shit. I really don't want it to. I really don't. I'm very sorry about that. I really don't want it to. Uh, I really don't want to copy anything. So with zombies, I really have loved zombies ever since, I guess, since I've seen Night of the Living Dead, George Romero's classic, which was really inspiration for every filmmaker, I think, around the world, no matter what age. I mean, there are filmmakers that are, or there are kids that are filmmakers that are younger than me that are watching that film, and that's an influence to them. So that's really fun and awesome at the same time. I love Dawn of the Dead. Day of the Dead was, yeah, I'm kind of with those people who didn't like it, but at the same time, I did like it because it was zombies and it was, fucking cool. Um, Land of the Dead, I thought was really groovy as hell. I thought Dennis Hopper was fucking awesome as shit in it. Um, but I was really displeased with John Leguizamo because he obviously he cried because of Clown, Spawn, and that sort of shit. But he didn't don the zombie makeup. He bitched up and put his fucking Huggies on and opted for the digital zombie look, which I don't fucking like that at all. I hate digital fucking zombies with such a fucking passion. I think they don't look right unless it's a digital effect where they're getting shot in the fucking head. That's the only digital effect I want to see on a zombie. Is their brain getting smashed in or shot? That's it. That's it. But other than that, I thought it was really bullshit that he went with a CGI zombie because it really looked super fucking fake as shit. And I was just really disappointed, and I just really lost a lot of respect for John Leguizamo after that. But yeah, I kind of thought, well, I really thought that was a slap in the face to George Romero, who's the godfather of zombies, and just a slap in the mouth to him, and a punch in the gut to the zombie community and fans of zombies. So I was just like, fucking, I wasn't too pleased. Okay, uh, 2 questions for. Hold on, hold on. What happened here? Hold on. What's going on here? Okay, okay, Rob. Now I'm doing it. There's nothing. IHTV chats. Nothing other than my tweet. I don't know what's going on. But anyways, thank you for reposting them on the JTV chat. First question: Is it cold in Tucson? Why the skull cap? It is fairly cold in Tucson. February is probably the coldest month in the entire year in Tucson when it comes to our winter weather. Um, it is warming up a little bit. The other reason why I'm wearing a skull cap is because um, I live with roommates and that sort of thing. We don't have cable in the house. We're saving money on some bills. We don't have a house phone. We're using our own cell phones. Um, so it really is um, basically just a way of saving money. And we have the heater off, so that's why I have this in my Canadian suit on, because it's a little bit cold in this damn house without the heater on. So yeah, we have it off just to save money. Tweet question number 2. Stop ignoring Twitter, Ty. What? I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell's going on with this Twitter shit. Oh my. Oh my, Kevin Walsh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh my. Stop ignoring Twitter, Ty. What is your favorite horror movie and horror story? Um, God, my favorite horror movie. Well, I don't know. That really is a bit of a toughie. I mean, it really depends upon the genre too. Slasher, zombie. Um, my favorite movie. God damn. Favorite movie all time. Hmm. Favorite horror movie. I would probably have to say my favorite movie um, is Intruder. That's really my favorite horror movie, my favorite slasher film. I mean, there's your Jasons, there's your Halloweens. Halloween was really um, one of the other first horror films I had seen, and it was an impression on me at a young age. And I grew up watching all the Halloweens, but later on in my teens, I had watched Intruder, and I really loved that because it was really just a low budget vibe, and I love the story of this person in a grocery store killing people. And I really I identified and connected with that because I worked at a grocery store on the night crew. So there were those characters that I had seen on the night crew. It's like, you're fucking crazy about this store, aren't you? You are batshit crazy about this store. It's no joke. I mean, because I have seen some people like that, and it is a little bit weird to work alongside them because you don't know as to whether or not they're going to go into the um, produce department and beat you with some damn bananas. You never know. Um, but yeah, that's also my favorite horror story too. Um, well, I guess one of them. And Intruder, it's really a film I would love to remake as well. That also is kind of a connection to the um, question as to what kind of big budget movie I would make. I would love to remake Intruder. I would just love to elevate the story somehow, and just bring it to modern day. Obviously remake, but it would be different. Um, are there any final questions that anyone would have for me? Would anybody like to talk? Would anybody like for me to talk about Road Trip? Would anybody like for me to talk about more about Ted Finds Love or High School Hell? Um, please do let me know. I'll check this Twitter thing and see if we have any more questions. Uh, yes, I would love to let you know as to when you guys can re-air these shorts that just played. I'm actually waiting on some confirmation from a couple film festivals which I'm hoping to hear sometime between now and April. So who knows, maybe sometime after April. If I do or don't hear anything, we can have them replay on this channel, both of them, probably for a good year. Not a year to this date, but a year from the April, May type date sort of thing. No questions here. Thank you. I hope to bring more to the network and hope to put more into film festivals and even go out to film festivals as well. Are there any questions? I would love to come back on the channel. Like I said, Rob, if there's anything that abruptly happens and you need an impromptu chat with 5, 10, 20 directors, that sort of thing, let me know. I'd love to be involved. Are there any final questions? Nothing on Twitter? Nothing on the channel? No text messages? Nothing? Are there any final questions for Ted? High school hell? Road trip? All right. Well, it was great chatting with you all. And I hope to bloody up your screen again sometime very, very soon. Cheers.